The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and welcome. This is TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, police presence boosted in Kaboom polling, final consultation into NHC Act review held, and Douglas David entrusted with #1 jersey. Over 500 police personnel from Morobe province have been deployed to Kaboom for the court-ordered by-election. Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command Peter Guinness has committed to ensure that the electoral process is free, fair and safe this time. Polling for Kaboom Open started yesterday, Wednesday, 16th July 2025.
2022 National General Election, Kaboom was one of 2 districts in Morobe Province that had its political representative declared under special circumstances following violence and destruction of ballot papers and boxes and public assets on Sunday, July 17, 2022. The matter was taken to court, and on Tuesday, September 24, 2024, the Supreme Court ordered that a by-election be conducted. Polling was initially set for Saturday, July 12, 2025. However, it was moved to Wednesday, July 16th due to funding delays. Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command, Peter Guinness, acknowledged Lay MP and Deputy Prime Minister, John Rosso, for allocating 1.5 million kina. That amount was put together with 500,000 kina from the Morobe Provincial Administration and 200,000 kina from the PNG Electoral Commission.
I thank the government through the Deputy Prime Minister who came out to be able to support the plan of this walk long to by-election with funding assistance, funding the helicopter and funding allowances for security personnel to be deployed to Kaboom and Usino Bundi respectively. Selepet LLG cast their votes on Wednesday, July 16th. The other LLGs of Dayamos, Komba and Yus started voting today. Kaboom's returning officer, James Neapukali, said polling officials' training and security briefing were completed on Tuesday afternoon. Yus LLG has 12 polling teams, while Dayamos has 8 and Komba and Selepet have 6 teams each. Neapukali said Kaboom has 32 polling teams to cover 102 polling venues in the district's 67 wards. Kamela Guare, TVWAN News, Lay.
The one-day polling for the Motu Koita Assembly commenced today after being deferred due to logistical requirements. 14 wards of the Motu Koita area are currently voting to elect a new MKA chairman, 17 ward councillors and women's representative. So far for Tatana and Hanobada village, polling is said to have commenced well.
Today marks the one-day polling for the Motu Koita Assembly elections. The polling date was moved from the 12th of July to the 17th of July due to logistical requirements. Polling began at 8 a.m. with an expected 14 wards of the Motu Koita area voting for their new MKA chairman, 17 ward councillors and women's representative. This news team traveled out to Tatana Island in the morning to observe the polling. Polling for Araira ward in Tatana began at 9 a.m.
There's about 950 ballot papers that I've mentioned to the scrutineers. The serial numbers range for the chairman and also for the ward council. For the women, it's about 500 that we brought in. So far, as you can see, the queue is getting longer and longer. We opened the booth at about 9 o'clock.
According to presiding officer for Araira Ward, Tamasi Toa, it was a slow but a good turnout.
So far, so good. We have a good response from the people of Araira who are coming to cast their vote. I think it's been 7 years they waited so.
Hanabada village this morning had several polling places packed with villagers, making sure they cast their vote. Presiding officer for Paraparana Lahara at Apau Vahoy, Hanabada village, Idao Reva, said polling in that area was running smoothly as of midday.
The population here is 540 in a clan. So right now I have only 186 voters gone through. So I'm still waiting for another 400.
Reva shared that as of midday, she has 400 more to go before she is done for the day in the Paraparana Lahara ward at Apau Vahoy clans. Jasmine Erojak, TVWAN News.
Meanwhile, several villagers at Paraparana Lahara aired out their relief to finally vote again after the long wait.
I need changes. I need all the councillors or the chairman and the women's rep seat to be changed because for these years we've been we haven't been benefiting, and we need changes. On most of the village people, they don't have that like electricity and water problem and sewage and all this, so we need changes.
Actually, I'm very happy that this election is taking place because we've been suffering from a lot of lack of resource management. Like our current members are mostly not doing their works properly, so we need a new member to. Hopefully, the new member will help us with these small problems here in the village. Yeah, I'm positive with my vote. I believe in my candidate that he's going to do a lot of help in the village.
The review into the National Housing Commission Act 1990 is in its final stage. The final consultation takes place in Port Moresby over the next 2 days. This is the culmination of regional consultations conducted last year in the 4 regions of the country. While the review is still in the drafting stages, notable changes highlighted so far include the creation of public-private partnership agreements to plan, design, build, and construct houses.
Following the appointment of a new housing minister and a new board and management, the first step they took was to review the 35-year-old NHC Act 1990. Regional consultations were carried out in all 4 regions, in Highlands, Momase, New Guinea Islands, and Southern. A 2-day national consultation is underway in Port Moresby to finalize changes. It will then be submitted for approval to various state agencies, including the First Legislative Council, and then brought to Parliament.
The review of the NHC Act is now in its final stage, as mentioned already by MD. I don't need to repeat on that. And it now requires your input with a team of consultants or team of who are in the front here. Following this process, the National Housing Corporation Amendment Bill will be drafted successfully and brought through the processes of First Legislative Council and State Song, and then finally go to NEC, then goes to the Parliament. Our members have to go through to have their view also in the floor. If they agree, we get it through. If they don't agree, it will come back again, where it needs to be improved on.
Following these consultations, the Working Committee identified parts of the NHC Act 1990 that needs to be either repealed, amended, or maintained. It also identified the need to include new provisions like the inclusion of the National Procurement Act. Among a host of amendments to be done include amendments to Part 2, Section 6 of the Act, where NHC will be required to enter into public-private partnership to plan, design, build, and construct houses. Others include the strengthening of audit and penalty provisions and transactions to allow the transfer or disposal of NHC property to only PNG citizens by birth. NHC Managing Director Abel Toll thanks stakeholders for their input in the review process and urged them to contribute meaningfully over the next 2 days as they conclude the consultation process.
The primary purpose of this consultation is to bring together diverse perspectives of various stakeholders involved in the housing sector, especially in terms of housing development policy framework, the regulation of the real estate industry in our country, and community engagement that we have, and the challenges that every day we face. And each participant brings very valuable insights and expertise that foster open dialogue. We can better understand the complexity surrounding housing issues, including affordability, accessibility, sustainability, and social equity.
The review of these acts is expected to transform NHC, enabling this vital state institution to fully discharge its responsibility. Susan Oriape, TVWAN News.
City Police reservists successfully apprehended a suspect involved in the armed robbery of a shop and motor vehicle at Papa Lele on Monday, July 14, 2025. The stolen car was used by the suspect and his accomplices to escape after robbing the shop and abandoned at Tatana.
City and Central Commander Assistant Commissioner of Police Benjamin Turi commended City Police reservists for apprehending one suspect involved in an armed robbery and theft of a motor vehicle Monday afternoon at Papa Lele Central Province. Commander Turi said the reservists also recovered stolen money and property as well. According to the police report, it was alleged that around 3:50 a.m., 9 armed men entered a supermarket at Papa Lele, held up the shop manager in his office and took money and property. An NCD Reserve Police unit was alerted, and while making their way to the crime scene, they sighted a taxi loaded with goods traveling along the Barony Road towards Gara'u. They pursued the taxi and caught up with it at Nautana. The suspects escaped into the Nautana settlement. The reservist gave chase and caught one. They also searched the taxi and recovered stolen items. The car that was initially stolen and used to transport the criminals out of Papa Lele was abandoned at Tatana. According to the reservist, all stolen properties were labeled and handed over to CID officers. Police investigation continue in apprehending other suspects. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
We'll have more stories after the break. Stay tuned.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectation.
Cold Pal Lemon is tough on stains and gentle on clothes. Cold Pal Lemon has a great lemon fragrance which brightens your clothes and gives that extra freshness that lasts all day long. Cold Pal Lemon, tough on stains, gentle on clothes with extra freshness.
Welcome back. Fiji is hosting the 9th Pacific Tuna Forum this October, with over 200 regional and international stakeholders expected to attend. The forum, co-hosted by Papua New Guinea and Fiji, underscores the Pacific's growing influence in global tuna sustainability. Papua New Guinea will play a key leadership role in the upcoming 9th Pacific Tuna Forum, to be held in Fiji this October. Today, the National Fisheries Authority held a media briefing in Port Moresby to outline PNG's involvement in this vital regional event. At a media conference held at the Stanley Hotel in Waigani this morning, the National Fisheries Authority officially confirmed Papua New Guinea's participation in the 9th Pacific Tuna Forum. The forum, scheduled for October 14th and 15th in Denarau, Fiji, is the Pacific's premier platform for tuna industry dialogue. It brings together governments, industry leaders, NGOs, and the regional organizations to drive sustainable fisheries development across the Blue Pacific. PNG, through the NFA, is a founding partner of the forum and will once again take center stage, co-organizing the event alongside the Fijian Ministry of Fisheries and longtime partner InfoFish.
The Pacific Tuna Forum is a premier tuna industry event in the region. It brings together policymakers, fishery managers, NGOs, industry stakeholders to discuss key issues and opportunities. The significance of the tuna industry trend extends beyond the Pacific. Its long-term sustainability has global implications, contributing to food security, poverty alleviation, health and education improvements, sustainable trade, robust fisheries governance, better standards, and the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing in Papua New Guinea and the region. Ultimately, it supports the achievements of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, fostering on more secure, sustainable, and prosperous future for the Pacific and the world.
With the Western and Central Pacific Ocean supplying nearly 60% of the world's tuna catch, the forum's 2025 theme, Pacific Tuna 2050, Resilience, Innovation, Equity and Sustainable Trade for a Prosperous Future, reflects the urgency of balancing environmental stewardship with economic development. As the countdown of PTF9 begins, PNG is positioning itself as a strong regional voice for responsible fisheries management and inclusive economic growth. Through a formal memorandum of understanding, PNG's National Fisheries Authority and Fiji's Ministry of Fisheries have committed to jointly organize the event, equally sharing costs and responsibilities. PNG will fund the main conference, while Fiji will manage hosting functions and logistics. This collaboration reflects a broader Pacific unity in ensuring sustainable tuna management and greater benefits for local economies. The forum also features strong participation from regional bodies like the FFA, PNA, SPC, and WCPFC. Now in its 9th edition, the Pacific Tuna Forum continues to serve as the region's premier platform for coordinated policy, science, trade, and sustainability action in the global tuna industry. The PNG Nurses Association launched its Savings and Loan Society on Tuesday. 6 members also received their certificates and signed loan applications.
The Chief Executive Officer for the PNG Nurses Association Savings and Loan Society, Justin Pindipi, said the essence of the launch is the processing of the loan application. After the launch, 6 staff from Port Moresby General Hospital and 2 from Laloki Psychiatric Hospital, as well as PNG Nurses Association President Freddie Kebai, submitted their loan applications. Their accounts are expected to be credited today.
Because now we are online. That's one of the keynote part of what we, like Miplato people are launching.
Pindipi said the maximum loan guaranteed is 20,000 kina and minimum is 500 kina. But the best part is the low interest repayment.
Loan interest component is 1% of the loan. That's from the regulator, Bank of Papua New Guinea. You cannot go up, you cannot come down. All right, when you want to go up, we have justified cases or justifiable cases, if you want to say it. That means we have to go to increase law 1 to 2 or ratio of law 1 to 3, 4, 5. We'll have to seek authority from the regulator.
The appeal now from the PNG Nurses Association is for the rest of the 4,000 registered nurses to complete the savings and loans membership forms to be eligible for a loan.
It is from their own pocket that established this entity.
Kebai appealed to the nurses to take ownership of this service for financial freedom.
The PNG Resources Golden Exhibition is into its 2nd week. Commencing yesterday was the inter-school debate competition that saw students from 10 various schools from the nation's capital nettle with words on topics surrounding the energy and resources sector.
The expo that commenced a week ago commemorates the remarkable journey and enduring contributions of companies that have fueled the nation's growth, empowered communities, and positioned Papua New Guinea as a leading resource economy in the region in the last 50 years of operation in the country. Students from all over the nation's capital since the opening of the expo have converged at the APEC House, many getting to meet industry members as they learned about the different mining, oil, and gas companies, including government entities, of their roles, operations, and contributions to nation building.
I think the expo, it was very informative and interactive with our students that came here to visit. It was a lot of fun, as well as we got to learn in depth about how different organized companies, they deal with their waste management, how they give back to the communities, how they contribute to the nation as well.
Commencing yesterday was the inter-school debate competition that saw students from 10 various schools from the nation's capital battle with words on topics surrounding the energy and resources sector.
Coming into this debate was a really nice experience. I got to know different people and their views And I also got to learn about different things as well. And it was really inspiring to hear other students speak on these topics. And I really loved how they voiced their thoughts and opinions.
As a whole, I think the program is really good, especially bringing private and public schools together, and we collaborate and share different ideas and thoughts on the topics that we're given. And I think that allows us to express our own personal opinion, but also an opinion that's not heard a lot, especially from the youth, while in other cases, a lot of older people would usually be spearheading this. And I think it's just great that the youth got to talk about and share their opinions.
The initiative is supported by PNG Core and facilitated by Amstrad Holdings Limited.
So we're celebrating our history, but then importantly, the inter-school debate is inspiring our future. And as you can see from the young students, I'm inspired. I'm truly inspired, and it gives me great confidence about the future.
Having to see them, stand on stage and confidently debating about the topics that they are, discussing, it's amazing to see the intellectual of our students. I'm talking about these issues outside of school and being part of these forums as well. So I'm just impressed, it always gives me excitement because I love to see us having healthy debates, healthy, constructive arguments rather than resorting to violence and things like that. We need to start, reshifting the mindset of our young kids, and it starts with our young, students and lead the pathway for them so that they get involved in these kind of activities.
The inter-school debates form one of the many activities featured during the Resources Month at the Golden Resources Exhibition, running from the 7th to the 25th of July.
Okma Junior High School in the rugged terrain of the Star Mountains LLG of Western Province received much-needed school supplies from Octady Mining Limited recently, further strengthening and emphasizing the importance of education among local school children.
Octady Mining Limited handed over more than 82,000 worth of school supplies to Okma Junior High School, a newly opened school serving 300 students in the Star Mountain LLG area of Western Province. The donation included resource books, globe maps, solar lights, a water pump, mattresses, and basic tools. The materials were received by Stanley Kumasimba, manager of the Star Mountains Education Foundation. He emphasized the impact it would have on staff and students. Head teacher Kami Wegera described the gesture a youth's blessing, noting the school has received no prior support. While awaiting formal government registration, Okma Junior High School has tools to thrive. The solar lights will extend study hours, the mattresses will improve teacher comfort, and the learning materials will enrich classroom learning. In a region where access to education is a challenge, Octady's support is a life promise of progress. Joanna Violet, TVWAN News.
And now let's take a look at the finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2418 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2343, $0.3563 Australian dollars, $0.1933 euro, and 34.30 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, and palm oil closed higher. Cocoa, crude oil, and copper closed lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
with them, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Rohan, really messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room. Or maybe not.
Ding bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
Rugby league is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you welcome, I'm come up community. You must not community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Right, send it to Johnston. Duncan, he's in the clear. He's over for another one.
Thanks for staying with us. The Coffee Industry Corporation launched several of its Robusta coffee projects at the Omuru Research Station in Medang Province on Friday, 11th July. CIC Chief Executive Officer Charles Dambui, Chief Operations Officer Stephen Tumai, and Coffee Ministry's First Secretary John Kambua officially launched the projects.
Projects launched in Medang included the TVWAN Robusta coffee variety, TVWAN Clone Garden, 6HJ Robusta coffee developed using a plant regeneration technique called the somatic embryogenesis technique, eco-friendly seed pulper for seed production, and the Amel Omuru Road upgrade under the National Coffee Road Access Program. The occasion also witnessed the presentation of 128 certificates to Robusta coffee farmers of Badam Coffee Cooperative. Dambui thanked the national government for recognizing the importance of the coffee industry and for creating a ministry for coffee under the leadership of Minister William Bando. This, he said, has seen important coffee interventions as this being implemented. Dambui added that CIC would now prioritize the upgrading of the 5.4-kilometer road from the main road leading into the Omuru Research Station under the National Coffee Access Road Program supported by the government. He said that this, with the expected support to the research station, research staff and scientists would be sent to Omuru to conduct important research into Robusta coffee production and to upscale Robusta production. Maricela Kelaton, TVWAN News.
To overseas news, for more than a week, from train stations to supermarkets, almost every corner of Taiwan has been touched by the island's annual military drills. At a primary school in New Taipei City, children played badminton inside a sports hall, while just outside, soldiers fired cannons and rifles. They were rehearsing a hypothetical battle against China's People's Liberation Army. The proximity of the kids watching on as red smoke billows from what is normally their school basketball courts drives home what is really at stake for Taiwan as it comes under increasing pressure from Beijing. The Chinese Communist Party claims Taiwan is a province of China and continues to insist it will one day join the People's Republic, refusing to renounce the use of force to achieve that goal. Polls have shown the majority of Taiwanese people want to maintain the status quo. South Australian children who've lived through domestic violence and homelessness have written and illustrated a new picture book about their experiences. The group has presented their stories to the state's Royal Commission into Domestic, Family and Sexual Violence ahead a final report being handed to the state government next month.
Dad is like a tornado. Koala and Mindy run back behind the tree.
Through storytelling, this 7-year-old's describing what domestic violence feels like. Their voice has been changed to protect their safety.
The tornado turns the rock pool into a whirlpool and spins Koala and all the children around and around until they don't know which way is up.
The story is part of a new picture book written and illustrated by South Australian children aged under 12 who've lived through domestic violence and homelessness.
It's about letting the government know about what kids are going through.
9-year-old Kate, not her real name or voice, is one of the authors.
It was a bit upsetting because I started to cry.
Over a 6-month period, Kate's mum Lisa, also not her real name, says she was regularly abused by an ex-partner. She says she tried to shield her daughter from the violence.
There was, threats to kill. There was, with axes and choking and, a lot of bottles to my head. Honestly, I thought, she wasn't aware of a lot of it. But at the end of the relationship, she saw a couple of the incidents.
The family escaped the abuse and, after years of living in shelters and hotels, is now in secure housing. Lisa says she has mixed feelings reading the picture book.
And I know it's sort of out of my control, but she's around and it was not fair because the child, she shouldn't go through this.
Relationships Australia SA spent a year helping the children write and illustrate their stories.
The book is a real example of how children feel like they can turn difficult experiences into something positive.
Earlier this year, the children gave their book to SA's Domestic Violence Royal Commissioner.
This book, yes, was a very emotional exchange, but it was also a heartening one.
Kids have feelings and they have emotions too, just like adults.
Natasha Stott-Despoja will hand down her final report in August.
10 people confined to a cell, bloodied blankets and blocked toilets. These were some of the claims from people detained in the Palmerston Police Watch House in recent days. The Northern Territories Police Union has raised the alarm, saying the number of detainees inside police facilities is unsustainable, warning it's just a matter of time before an officer or an inmate is hurt or killed. Meanwhile, the government says there's no alternative if they're to quell the territory's crime problem.
Walking free from custody after 10 days inside Palmerston Police Watch House.
It's just horrible because you got to shit in front of other people, and same, you're eating too while they're shitting.
Willis Carlo, who was granted bail in Darwin Local Court today, said he was crammed into a small cell with up to 15 other men.
They don't turn the lights off, you sleep with the lights on.
Another prisoner released on bail who did not want to be identified told the ABC female inmates were forced to defecate in front of each other and male officers.
It's disgusting, it's unhygienic. You've got 8 girls crammed into one cell. Girls are on their periods, not even being allowed to have showers. When I was in there was a pile of blankets that were bloodied from periods, and they weren't even allowing showers.
She and Mr Carlo were among 92 detainees inside the Palmerston Police Watch House yesterday, 76 of which were correctional prisoners on remand. The Northern Territory Police Association says police officers who staff the facility are being stretched beyond capacity.
We've got no contingencies in place to look after if someone gets violent, someone has a mental health episode inside that custody facility as well.
Mr Finn said police resources are being diverted to manage the situation inside the watch houses.
There'll be people out there that we can't take into custody simply for committing offences, and that has a flow-on effect to the community and the safety of the community as well.
In March, following backlash about police watch houses being used as overflow from detention facilities, the Corrections Minister Gerard Maley told Parliament watch houses would no longer be staffed or used by corrections, allowing police to freely conduct their duties. Now, the police union says the government hasn't followed through.
It's going to end up in, unfortunately, a situation where a police officer's hurt or an inmate within those facilities is hurt or sometimes killed.
In response to questions from the ABC, the Minister for Corrections, Gerard Maley, said while he acknowledged the challenges, there was no alternative, and corrections would continue to expand capacity to ensure those remanded and sentenced have a bed.
Health authorities in Queensland have cancelled elective surgeries in some of the state's busiest hospitals due to a spike in flu and COVID cases. The pause will last 48 hours at this stage and affect at least 185 knee and hip replacements. More urgent Category 1 surgeries will still go ahead.
More than 200 patients sought help at Redcliffe and Caboolture hospitals late Tuesday night, very sick with either flu or COVID.
These presentations were effectively out of the blue and have put a significant strain on the system.
Now, non-urgent elective surgery has been paused at Metro North Hospital and health facilities for 48 hours. That includes the Royal Brisbane and Women's and Prince Charles hospitals. Almost 200 people needing knee and hip operations will have to reschedule.
Category 1 surgery, the more important surgery, we'll still have that surgery going ahead. We have capacity to deliver that.
The stark increase in infections blamed on poor vaccination rates.
Nearly 3,600 Queenslanders hospitalised with the flu so far this year, which is an increase of 16%.
Over 90% of hospitalisations are being caused by unvaccinated people.
And the problem isn't isolated to Brisbane. The strain felt from Rockhampton to the Gold Coast and Ipswich. Frontline health workers also being put at risk.
The other challenge that the system is facing, and that is that our sick leave is going up because doctors and nurses are getting sick as well.
The message is clear. It's not too late.
It's free and it's easy and it's quick. And you could save not only your life, but someone else's life by getting the vaccine.
The Minister says the nurses' current industrial actions haven't contributed to surgery cancellations.
A woman who's been waiting months for heart surgery says she feared she may die before she receives the treatment she needs. Beck Batt says she had been given no time frame for when the surgery would take place until South Australia Health stepped in this afternoon.
An agonising wait.
It's just difficult, just sitting in limbo. It really is.
Beck Batt has spent months on SA's elective surgery waitlist, in need of a pacemaker, an ablation and stents to treat an irregular heartbeat.
I do find that it's limiting in my life.
The 60-year-old from Victor Harbour says she waited 18 months for an appointment to see a specialist. That happened in January. Since then, more waiting, this time for surgery.
It can cause a stroke, and that's my biggest fear.
Hours after Beck went public with her story on radio this morning, the surgery was booked for next week at Flinders.
I would hope that patients don't feel they need to come to the media, and they are very welcome to feedback to Salin.
Despite her concerns, Beck was classed as a Category 2 patient, meaning her surgery should have happened within 3 months. SA Health has apologised, but says she wasn't put on the list until April and was due to be seen earlier this month.
From time to time we do need to cancel and reschedule, and that's really unfortunate. We are at our most busy time of the year.
In the lead up to the 2022 election, it was the human faces behind the state's ailing health system that helped Labor over the line. Now, with an election looming and yet to deliver on its key health promise to fix the ramping crisis, the government will be hoping stories like Beck Batts don't have the same impact.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next after the break.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Sabe tu olsem kondom em one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use condom long right way. Stop safe na lookout him you yet. Use condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Mr. Russell, memang isim signya sa pemilih.
You survey yourself, you can put one per complaint.
I'm not giving big to him. Online by doctor. Nah, also one I'm supposed me on data sorry kisimel.
You think him good through Sam? You like putting this plus sexual harassment report on Mr. Russell?
Who said he making this black complaint?
Joining BCFW na all member blong ni plan na stand up strong against workplace harassment.
Welcome back. The stage is set for a thrilling OFC Women's Nations Cup 2025 final as Melanesian heavyweights Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands prepare to battle for regional glory on Saturday, July 19 in Suva, Fiji.
And Papua New Guinea get the second goal.
Papua New Guinea is chasing back-to-back titles after lifting their maiden trophy in 2022. The Solomon Islands are first-time finalists who are writing a remarkable chapter in their nation's football history. the defending champions, booked their space in the final with a hard-fought 2-1 win over Fiji on Wednesday, with head coach Erickson Komeng praising his team's resilience. A lot has been learned from the game. It was all about hard work for the team. Komeng says there is no pressure in the team and respect their opponents, Solomon Islands, who he says are great footballers.
There's no pressure in the team. We respect Solomon Islands. They're growing football back home. Welcome to study in the National League. For PNG team, we just fought for playing against the Solomon Island, and I think that the confidence in the team builds after the Cook Island match, Hainapu match. We're looking forward for that. We have to approach the game. We also have to stay focused, and we believe in teamwork, and we know hard work is going to get us.
Solomon Islands reached the final after a gripping 2-1 semi-final win over Samoa on Wednesday evening, a result that sparked celebrations across the nation. Solomon Islands makes history advancing to the finals for the first time. Head coach Moses To'ata is proud of his team's journey and the opportunity to make history.
Yesterday was special. We struggled throughout our preparation. Sometimes people don't support us, but we learned to be ourselves. We learned to stick together, and we created that history yesterday, being the first team to be in the finals for the overseas Women's Nations Cup. That's special. For us, I think our focus will be on PNG going into the final. They have really good players that we need to take care of. I also have some concern in my own players because some players are injured. But in the normal game, we will of course be more concerned about the opposition. I have a couple of good players that I will put my trust on. My captain, of course, Alan Peggy, and young Madeline Arukau, who has been at the top of a game, I think. And I'm looking forward for another big performance from her in the finals.
Solomon Islands captain and talisman Eileen Peggy is ready for the challenge and respectful of the opposition. With national pride and a major title on the line, Saturday's final promises passion, intensity, and history in the making for both Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. Susan Oriape, TVWAN Sports.
Exciting rising talent Douglas David is making notable strides within the PNG Hunters system. After his debut in round 13 of the QRL Host Plus Cup this year, the Unitec graduate has showcased his skills impressively over the last 4 games, excelling in dual roles as both a fullback and a winger. Playing 4 consecutive games with consistent performances marks a significant milestone in David's budding career.
Oh, here's Douglas David running around and then putting on the pace, support on the inside. Voro. Oh! There we go!
Following a demanding 2024-2025 preseason, Douglas David earned his place in the PNG Hunters' finalised 30-man squad for the 2025 Queensland Cup season. Spending majority of his season with the Ley Tigers, David's opportunity arose when regular fullback Sonny Wabo sustained a minor neck injury in round 12. This opened the door for David to make his mark in the starting lineup, and he seized the moment during his debut in round 13, continuing to excel in both the fullback and winger positions.
A very big achievement, especially to do with the outside back. Hunters pretty experienced squad we have here, so to be able to play a number of weeks, consecutive weeks, is a pretty big milestone for me. And I'm just embracing it, and I'm trying to think of every training session, try to get every session the best out of it. And I guess it's showing on the field, so the coach is trusting me and giving me more game times.
Last week, in another remarkable display against the Capras, David scored his 4th try in as many games, further solidifying his reputation on the field. With Wabo sideline again, Hunters coach Paul Ayton has entrusted David with the #1 jersey for the upcoming clash against Ipswich Jets this Sunday at NFS.
Finals game, it's a must-win game for us. We're trying to win each session, training session, win with high energy and finish up, and the game will take care of itself.
David's journey began in Mount Hagen, where he played schoolboys, drawing aspirations from senior players who have since advanced to the Hunters and even on to the Super League. While studying at Unitec, David continued to play rugby. His strong performances in the local league led to his inclusion in the late Tigers squad for 2023-2024 season, ultimately catching the attention of the PNG Hunter scouts.
I never thought I would play this much game, but the coach has given this opportunity. Short term is play as much game as for this year and give my best, and long term, to make the PM squad and all this after the end of the season. That's my long term objective.
David expressed gratitude for the unwavering support from his parents, who flew down to Port Moresby to witness his debut 3 weeks ago and have decided to extend their stay for an additional 3 weeks to continue to cheer him on. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And finally, the Games Organizing Committee, together with Team PNG's Shifter Mission, have been commended for the excellent organization of travel, transport, accommodation and meals for the Team PNG athletes, making their participation at the Pacific Mini Games a memorable one. This professional arrangement allowed athletes to maintain their focus and to prepare physically, mentally and spiritually while navigating their routines and competitions over the course of the 2-week games.
During Team PNG's welcome reception held on Monday, Florence Dapple, representing the sport of softball, expressed heartfelt gratitude on behalf of all Team PNG athletes. She emphasized the importance of support from the organizing committee, the PNG Olympic Committee, sponsors, and family and friends in ensuring that athletes' welfare was prioritized without any distractions before, during, and after the Games.
That was really big for us, especially staying focused. We didn't have to worry about anything else but competition, which is part of this international games. You don't want to stress yourself out by worrying about family problems whatsoever. So the GMT really made sure, from the admin side, really made sure that we were well focused, prepared mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually. I really just think we were actually really empowered while we were there. So I would like to really thank the GMT for your efforts.
This seamless support system provided motivation and uplifted the spirits of the athletes, enabling them to perform at their best and excel in their respective sports. As a result, PNG achieved an impressive 5th placing overall, marking an exceptional accomplishment for the nation. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that's all we have for sports. Now the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Alotau, cloudy periods with occasional heavy showers, then rain and possible thunderstorm. Omase, Ley, cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. Wewak, partly cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with heavy showers, then rain and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, Goroka Bands, Kundiwa, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with heavy showers, then rain and possible thunderstorm. Oceans forecast. Coral seas, slight to moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots, with gusts over the central quadrant. Solomon Sea and the Pacific Ocean, seas slight with easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea. Seas moderate with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots with gusts. And coastal waters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitius, then Dampier Strait to Siassi Island to Long Island. Seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Ireland to east and west New Britain. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that has been another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Do take care. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by